welcome to today's news. It's September 2009 and the United Kingdom is still reeling from the effects of the financial crisis. In the past 2 years, we've seen the collapse of large financial institutions, national governments bailing out the banks, and a downturn in stock markets worldwide. This has had a series of serious repercussions for people worldwide by contributing to the failure of businesses. These repercussions include loss of savings, evictions of people from their homes, redundancies for thousands of workers, and cuts to public funding. The financial crisis was triggered by complex liquidity problems in the United States banking system as a result of the housing bubble bursting in mid-2007. This caused the value of securities tied to US real estate pricing to plummet, damaging financial institutions globally. Questions regarding bank solvency, declines in credit availability, and damaged investor confidence had an impact on global stock markets, where securities suffered large losses during 2008 and early 2009. Economies worldwide ground to a halt, as credit tightened and protectionism took centre stage with a decline in international trade. Governments and central banks responded with unprecedented fiscal stimulus, monetary policy expansion and institutional bailouts, the likes of which had never before been envisaged. The International Monetary Fund estimated that large US and European banks lost more than $1 trillion on toxic assets and from bad loans from January 2007 to September 2009. These losses are expected to top $2.8 trillion from 2009 to 2010. European bank losses will reach $1.6 trillion. The International Monetary Fund estimated British and Eurozone banks are only 40% through the losses they are expected to experience. The first British bank to fall was Northern Rock. The highly leveraged nature of its business led the bank to ask for support from the Bank of England. This subsequently sent consumers into panic, and there was a run on the bank in September 2007. Concerns that investment bank Bear Stearns would collapse in March 2008 resulted in its fire sale to JP Morgan Chase. The financial institution crisis hit its peak in September and October 2008, when several major institutions failed, were acquired into duress, or were subject to government takeover. These included Lehman Brothers, Merrill Lynch, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, AIG, Northern Rock and RBS. October 2008 saw the announcement that the British government would buy 58% of the equity capital of RBS in order to recapitalise the bank and save it from collapse, one of the largest UK retail and investment banks. The Treasury infused £37 billion, equivalent to £617 per citizen of the UK, of new capital into the Royal Bank of Scotland Group plc, Lloyds TSB and HBOS plc to avert financial sector collapse. Although the government has stressed that this is just a temporary measure and the bank would return to private ownership, many are still sceptical. On October 11, 2008, Goodwin officially announced his resignation as Chief Executive and an early retirement, effective from January 31, 2009. A month before, RBS announced that its 2008 loss totalled £24.1 billion, the largest annual loss in UK corporate history. February this year, it was made public that he will receive approximately £700,000 per year pension award from RBS. We have to ask ourselves, how and why did this happen, and how can those seemingly responsible for these catastrophic events get away with it and be so heavily rewarded? I'm Rebecca Shaw, back to the studio.